Hey YouTube, welcome back. My name is Cassie and you are watching The Victorian Thimble. Today we are doing part 3 of making Wilhelmina wood mouse, and I'm going to show you how we make her tail. Let's get started. Welcome back everyone. I'm glad you could tune in for another week. Before we get started with making Wilhelmina wood mouse's body and tail, I just wanted to talk to you guys for a couple of minutes about my schedule and my postings and what I intend to do, because, so here's the thing. I just want to have a conversation with you because, you know what? I'm learning as I go and I keep trying different things on for size. I'm going to share with you a little piece of information, and you can, I think of it as a reason, you may think of it as an excuse, but here's the deal. I work a full-time job. I also have a part-time job. And then I'm a wife and a mom, and I have to take care of a home and like just, you know, all the plates that we have spinning in the air. My plan is that one day this YouTube channel is going to replace that part-time job. I don't know when that will be, but it's a hope, right? So suffice it to say, I do struggle with the pace of life, and you know, sometimes I'm just tired. There's some days I'm so tired after working all day that I go, you know what, nothing's happening tonight. And maybe that's not the best approach, but it's where I'm at right now, and I'm trying my best. So I really appreciate everyone's patience while I try different things on for size. You guys have watched me do some videos where I upload the entire tutorial at once, and those can be really good. They're great. I'm still learning some video edit things on my end because I end up with like an hour of footage and I go, okay, I want to bring this down to like 10 or 20 minutes. And it's just like hours and hours of video editing to get this thing down to where I need it to be. And I'm starting to think differently and going, okay, I need to get the parts I'm recording a little more directed in the first place, and then maybe getting my videos edited and uploaded to YouTube won't be quite so cumbersome, and I could be a little more regular with my uploads, right? So guys, I'm sorry that sometimes I have the best of intentions and I just struggle to keep on pushing stuff out at the right time. But I want you to know I'm trying different things. So you guys have watched with Wilhelmina wood mouse, we're experimenting with a 4-week series, which isn't quite 4 weeks, I know. But we're experimenting with this 4-week series where, you know, it's supposed to be a different chunk each week. Okay, so I like this idea. I'll tell you what I don't like about it though, is that if I do that, that means it's gonna take me an entire month to push out Wilhelmina wood mouse. And then is it going to be another entire month to make Reynard Fox and another entire month to make Clementine Cat? Like, I don't know if I want my entire 2022 to just be making the dolls. Like, I want to get onto so many things, right? So I think we're going to finish the Wilhelmina wood mouse in a 4-part series because that is what I said I would do. The algorithms for YouTube search and things like that, I think it would be better to just keep Wilhelmina wood mouse in a 4-part video series as I'm describing. But what I'm thinking I might try for some of the future projects is maybe break them down into just 2 chunks instead. This allows me a little more space for planning, organizing, and making the videos and the projects, but maybe it gets the information to you guys a little bit quicker. Right? So I really appreciate everyone's patience as I'm learning as a new YouTuber, right? It's been a little over a year, but I wasn't super consistent with my uploads in year number 1. And I think I'm just starting to get some efficiency ideas down that I maybe didn't totally have before. And I think sometimes I get bogged down with I record everything going, oh, maybe people want to see that, and oh, maybe people want to see that part too. And then I end up with like all this footage and it's so much to edit down. It's just, it can be really overwhelming, right? So anyways, that's the deal. I just wanted to say hi, and I wanted to just thank you all who watch me so faithfully every time I put a video up. I really appreciate everyone's patience as I've been learning and trying on different things for size. And I do apologize that maybe sometimes, you know, maybe there's a little bit of fatigue and laziness can take over and I'm not always as consistent as I would like to be. And I think I need to do a little more work on that too, just as some transparency to everyone. Okay, so anyways, listen guys, Wilhelmina is going to turn out really cute and sweet, and we're going to get on to that now. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and say hi and just let you know where I'm at with stuff like that. Another thing I thought I would mention is where this channel is going to go with time. So you may have noticed the channel is called the Victorian Thimble, and that is because at the end of the day, where I want my journey and my exploring and learning and everything to be is all this Victorian sewing. So what I plan to do, first of all, I do plan to work my way through like the entire Luna book. We're gonna sew everything. We're gonna sew everything in this book, okay? The bed, the suitcase, the nightgowns, we're gonna make it all. Which is why doing 4-part series, uploading one a week, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do that long. So we're gonna do that for the mouse and then move on. But after I've done the stuff in the book, I am gonna experiment with making some Victorian style clothing for the Luna characters if I can. Also, one of my kids does have a smart doll, you know, the big tall, they look like giant Barbie dolls. They're called a 1/3 size doll, I think. Anyways, I'm also gonna experiment with making Victorian clothes for the smart dolls. So this will be really fun because I'm gonna be able to work with learning how to do pattern drafting that I've always wanted to do and I don't actually have experience with yet. And so I'm gonna be able to document that journey with all of you guys. And we're gonna be able to make some really cool stuff. And I'm also thinking that in between, I might make something for a doll and then make the life-size version that you or I could wear. And then make for a doll again, and then what you or I could wear, because I like both spaces. I like the crafting space. I like making all these little things, but I also like to make clothes that I could wear too. And that sort of idea I still want to develop as well. So this is where what I'm saying, guys, is over time, this channel, the Victorian Thimble, after we've done this Luna series, it is going to start steering a little more towards Victorian projects, but I am going to be doing it with dolls as well, because I do want to respect the fact that I enjoy crafting, and this is the space where people are watching and learning, and maybe you guys want to try some of that stuff too. And who knows, maybe we'll all make ourselves some pretty cool blouses to wear as well. And there we go. So anyways, guys, thanks for listening. I do appreciate it. Now what we're gonna do, now that I've said all that bit, is we are gonna get started with sewing the body. So what we have here, we have the 3, right? 1, 2, 3. We have the 3 body pieces and the body base. And remember, I already had my, ooh, it's a little blown out in the light there, isn't it? I already had my pen markings. See, you can see one of them there. Right, I have my pen markings in place for the body, and then the tail is just this long, skinny triangle, and that is going to get done in rolled and folded and stitched into a tail, and that's going to be interesting because there really isn't much to roll with at the end, so it's going to be all needle and thread work, and I think it's going to be kind of interesting to do. So let's get started. Here we go. Also, I just wanted to share one other thought is about the environment that I sew in. Like you guys can see behind me, right? We have like a full weight rack. I'll get out of the way and show you. Right? We have a full weight rack here. We have hand weights, we have barbells, we have the whole bit. I have a bike there. And so a couple of us in the house do work out with some regularity. I also struggle with consistency there. Sometimes I do yoga, sometimes I do cardio, and sometimes I actually get under the barbell. I do a little bit of it all, and I struggle greatly with consistency because of all the other areas that life is busy. Back there where you see the 2 computer screens, that's my workspace where I work during the day. So I spend an awful lot of time there every week. So yeah, it's an unfinished basement, but I do plan to continue to work on the parts of the basement that I use for my sewing and make it a little prettier and make it a little nicer. So I'm hoping this spring to build this whole ironing table station and everything. I think it'll be really cool. But anyways, I just wanted to say, if you ever notice in the background, maybe things look a little messy and a little busy down here, that's because this is basement life. This is where everything goes that doesn't fit in the other parts of your house. You want to look so nice, so you cram it all in the basement, right? So maybe one day I'll have a really pretty sewing room to share with you guys, but for now, you just get to get gritty with me and let's go work in the basement. Here we go. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the planning steps for Wilhelmina wood mouse, and I just wanted to point out to you, first of all, here's our friends, right? We got Freddie the Badger, and Luna is wearing Wilhelmina wood mouse's outfit right now, and her dress is over in a box over there right now. And of course we got Wilhelmina wood mouse here waiting to become a reality. So now that we have things this far, this is what we're doing today, is we're doing the body and the base and the tail. And then I'm probably going to do this in like a couple of days, maybe Tuesday. This is the foot pad, we got the legs and the arms. Once we stitch and stuff all that together, then we're going to be attaching the head to the body and the arms and legs and everything, and we're going to have this thing ready to go. So for now, we are going to focus on this part, and let's get started. The next phase of this project is building the body. To build the body, we go to page number 92 of How to Make Luna and follow the directions here for making the body. After we've done that, it's only a page or two over to How to Make Wilhelmina, is where you're going to find the directions for making the tail. That's the two parts that we're focusing on today. Okay, correction to the work. This is what you got with a tired girl pushing on. So it turns out in the directions, you're gonna sew the body down two sides. You see this, you're gonna leave this open for stuffing. Then remember when we made Luna, you have to assemble the legs first and they get stitched into the body as we're attaching everything. So I think my plan to do the body and the tail and then the legs and the arms isn't gonna work. We're gonna have to make those legs. Step one of sewing the legs. You're gonna run a long seam down here and a partial seam from here to here. And then after we run, it's pretty much like a quarter or 1/8 of an inch along your 1/4 inch it was. Then you're gonna zigzag it tightly so that you're gonna get this sort of effect that we have on Luna's leg, right? So we're gonna make this same sort of thing for Wilhelmina wood mouse using these directions here. So I'm going to do that. You guys have seen this in some other videos. I might not trouble you with all that and might just show you the stitching when it's done. Let's go. Hey everyone, so I just wanted to show you what I do here. You can see what I'm actually stitching is 1/8 of an inch down the arm and leg seams. This line here is actually 1/8 of an inch, and you can see that's where I'm gonna run my seam down and then we're gonna zigzag it. Let's go. Now that we have the back seam done like that, we're gonna add the zigzag. All right, everyone, now you can see here, both of these have been stitched down the back with a fine zigzag, and both of these out the front, just enough to turn it out. Next, we're attaching the foot at the bottom. And this is what it looks like when everything is eased in, only with pins. And here we have it. Both feet have been sewn. Guys, I gotta tell you, I think stitching these little feet into the legs is one of the hardest parts of making these dolls. It's such a small space, and you're combining two different mediums of fabric most times when you're doing it. It's actually a challenging little piece to do, but I got one turned out. The other still has to be turned out. Here's the body stitched with the zigzagging around, and I have my back opening here for when we're gonna turn and stuff. So once these legs are turned and stuffed, they're gonna be attached into here and stitched, and then we're gonna add the base. Look at that, guys. Isn't it cute? Look at those cute little feet. Right? The next step that we're going to do on this is sew this closed here, over stitch it with your finishing stitch, and then we're gonna stuff the legs. All right, everyone, I just wanted to show you, here is the legs just tacked onto the body. You can see the back is not yet stuffed and the bottom is still empty. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're putting the bottom on, and then we can stuff the body, and then we're ready to do the tail. And I just wanted to show you this part pinned up here. So it's not the easiest thing to do with this body, but here we go. So we have our two little legs, and the body is turned inside out over the legs. The legs were already like stitched in. Remember, we stitched those down first. And so now this is just sort of like a cone, and that's the flat bottom. I've pinned it this way and that, however I needed to hold it all into place. We're gonna stitch that down, then the body's ready to stuff, and then onto the top. All right, everyone, so I just wanted to show you the body. I don't know if you can quite see in the light, but this fabric is so like furry. I really like it. So it's not my favorite thing to sew with, to be honest. It wants to shift around. It's not the easiest I've ever sewn with, but the result, I love it. It's so mouse-like. I like it. I like it so much, guys. Anyways, this is turning out really good so far. Next steps. And now we're on to the last part of today's video, and that is how to sew a mouse tail. So guys, I'm gonna be honest and transparent again. I haven't made a mouse tail before. I'm showing you what I'm doing with the directions provided in the book. Again, I'm sharing my journey with you as I make these dolls and make the things from this book. So we're gonna watch how I make a mouse tail today. And so all that you have to do with this long, incredibly long, skinny triangle is we're gonna roll it and work it down and sew it. I'm gonna show you, let's go. The directions say to take the mouse tail and roll it small and tightly across and work it down with a pin. Let's do that now. All right, I just want to show you what we have here. So the tail is pinned all the way around as best I could. And then when we get down near the end, it's so small, you can't really pin it. It's gonna have to be worked with the needle and thread, but we're gonna hand stitch all this down. It's just a little whip stitch all the way down the tail to fasten it together, but it will give it, you know, some body and a rope-like feel like a tail should have. So it's a pretty cool little idea. All right, everyone, I just want to show you what we have. So here we have, always with threads on it, but here we have a little body, a cute little tail, and it's so fuzzy wuzzy. And then we still have her head hanging out on the sewing machine oil. So this is gonna get fitted and sewn on top of here. And you can see she is starting to take shape. The tail turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know if you can see, right? It's just some hand stitching. But anyways, guys, it's coming along really good. But now you've seen we have sewn the 3 parts of the body together and stuffed them. We've done the tail, we've assembled the legs and the feet, and it's all assembled as a body. And there it is. Thank you so much for watching once more. And now we have part 3 of making Wilhelmina Wood Mouse done. And next video, we're gonna finish her up. I just wanna thank everyone who joins me and watches this journey together as we craft beautiful things together. If you're like me, you really enjoy all the preciseness of building a project, right? Like I absolutely love measuring everything out so precise and sewing it as neat as possible and trying to turn out a really clean, neat, professional piece of work. It just sort of fills me up inside because you know what? It's something that stays done. Unlike dishes and laundry and sweeping the floors and all those things that they just come undone almost as soon as you do them. When you sew something, it stays done. And you get to see that and you get to look and go, I did that. I contributed towards that. That was one of my contributions to the earth around me, right? And like, I just think that's so cool because when we make things, we're blessing people around us with them. And I'm just all about that. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really hope to see you on the next video. I'll see you next time with your needle and thread at the Victorian Thimble. Take care, guys. Bye.